show you what I'm gonna do here. Let me get you out of there. Let me get you out of there. What you doing in there anyway? Come on now. There you go, baby. There I am. Oh, walking on stuff, stepping over things, falling. And there they are, little guys. So this guy's basically gonna go right like that. Bolt all of them together. One piece like that. Yes, sir. And then of course I'll have one going this way for the other side. Bring them around to that full wave bridge. Should be excellent for connecting them. Better than my other gizmos I had going. These things here. Oh, that's no good. It can't carry no current. This thing will do it though. All right, baby. Peace. I bought this welder basically 25 years ago. It's just an AC welder, as you can see. And you know, Century. It's just an okay welder, you know, like a Lincoln or whatever. But yeah, spark box. And they weld, you know, and they weld fairly decent if you're good. And if you got the appropriate rod, the right setting, and all that stuff, everything's clean. Weld's okay, but not perfect. That's for dang sure. Very so-so in comparison to some of the newer ones. Actually, newer ones, I should say. It's been around a long time. But ones that run DC. And so what I did is I, of course, got the bridge, just like many other videos. I got some caps in there that I bought off of eBay, I think. And anyway, I got a big old gang of them, 6 of them there. And they don't even slightly get warm. But yeah, it welds like a charm now. So anyway, I gotta do a couple of final things. I gotta heat sink this thing. It gets real hot when you're welding, especially on real high temps. I got a hunk of steel there, stainless. I'm just gonna bolt that hog there with a little bit of, I got some high temp silicone. I'm just gonna put between them so I got some place to conduct to. It won't melt off very easy because it's high temp. And anyway, that should give it some boom to get rid of the heat. And anyway, yeah, we're cooking, baby. You can see I got, of course, DC on the bottom here and still the AC up top. So you can still weld AC. You can put your, you know, your probe into the ground and the ground into the positive, you know, and weld, you know, AC minus or AC normal like this, which I'm not sure why they gave these such short cables so many years ago. I didn't really think about that, I guess, when I was buying it. But literally the ground cable's only about 6 feet long, 5 feet long actually. I got this moved around a little bit, and this guy was 7 feet long. You know, it's like, wow. So I went and priced some of this cabling. This stuff's a fortune. It was like $4 a foot. I was like, $4 a foot. So I went to Walmart. This is actually 4-gauge wire, and it's just jumper cables. And I got 20-foot jumper cables, so it has 2 conductors, you know, both 4-gauge, 20 feet long for $20. Yeah, you can do the math. That's 40 feet of wire, 4-gauge, you know, jumper cable wire, which is, looks like pure copper to me. But yeah, these things now are 14 feet long, so I can weld DC up to 14 feet. I got this for $6 off of eBay, a terrific buy. Nice heavy duty unit for ground. And of course a electrode holder, another $6 or $7, something like that. So yeah, fairly cheap mod here. And man, it welds like a dream comparison. I'm not a great welder, but holy smoke. Before I build the shaker table, I have to be able to have a reliable, good welder. One that doesn't weld like all my other welds. Anyway, I wanted to modify. Also, look at this. Hey, this is crazy. This thing's got this thing growing out the side here. Another cheap welder, about 100 and something bucks. I think I bought it off of Amazon. AC welder, welds like crap, but same thing. Full wave bridge, caps on the outside here. I had no place to really put them conveniently on the inside. I also made kind of an inductor coming out, and so it welds way better than what it did, and I mean way better. So anyway, to mod both of my AC welders, let me see, it was 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, yeah, anyway, less than $100 for the whole thing. Less than $100. And of course I got these gigantic length here for my welding electro and ground. anyway, it's looking pretty good. So anyway, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this dude on here, bolt it on, and then this guy here, I'm thinking I just, you know, just run the bolts right through the bottom of the case, you know, and weld it like that. This guy here, I'm just gonna strap in because I got this protective mat on the backside so it doesn't short out anywhere. But yeah, she's looking sweet, baby. For my old 25-year-old welder I welded all kinds of junk with over the years. Hey guys, I got my meter hooked up, set on DC. This is, of course, out. That's DC. Got it set on 200 volts because obviously 20 is the next one, so I got to go on 200. Ground and common. You can see it's sitting at 0.1 volts. Zero now. So basically, those caps were being drained down. It had a little bit of voltage, and those resistors were sucking them down to nothing, basically. But you can see there's, when it's off, there's no AC, there's no DC. So no AC and no DC. Well, we'll turn it on here. It's still on the lowest setting. And pops right up to 59.6, 59.7. So that means we got similar voltage on the input. This is AC, but that's DC on the output. But when I shut it off, it'll start draining, but not super fast. I'm a little bit surprised that those resistors don't drain it faster, because these guys are actually kind of like a little battery. They're holding a charge, but with the resistors in between, that's kind of like a light bulb or something, you know, pulling a load on these things, and so it's draining them down. But as you can see, here it is, it's still at 17 volts after, you know, whatever, 20-30 seconds. So it's going down, but yeah, it's not pulling them down quite as quick as I hoped. But of course, if you take the welding rod and just touch it on something, bam, it's going to knock those things right down, I'm sure, because there's no voltage to keep them up, because this wouldn't be running, it would be off. Anyway, so far so good. Nothing blew. So happy about that. I'll put a load on them, I have to see what happens. Let's see, they got no heat. Of course, with that low voltage, 60, you know, that's why sometimes you're welding, you can feel a tingle or something if it's wet out. But it's so low voltage, it won't really electrocute you. So you got to get a little higher than 50 typically. 50, I think, is where it starts to get you though, a little bit. But if I crank this dude up a smidge, actually a smidge, just go right to 230. Oh! So yeah, we slid that right out of the coil and bam. The highest voltage it is, and look at that. Oh yeah, okay, we're sitting at about 64, 63.3. Oh yeah, I think it you know, gives you a huge amount of current boost also, because even the voltage is up a little bit. With this dude all the way up, you're going to be pulling max current on that transformer, and so it should work pretty good. I turn it back down. Again, it starts to drain down, but not super fast. You know, you can see it's high voltage. Low. Oh yeah, it goes down pretty fast from there to there. Yeah. Well, that's because that's all we're supplying too. So that'll kind of pull it down, I think. Anyway, yeah, that's it. We'll have to try and weld and see what happens. Then they'll probably blow. I don't think so. We got 6 of them in parallel. Should be super tough. And that's 300 amp. That 4-way bridge. That should be able to handle. This thing supposedly can produce 230 amps, but I think it's 300, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's 300. I got a 2. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, 300 amp. 300 amp, 1600 volt. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm barely flexing it there. There's something else I want to show you too. It's set on DC, but I want to show you here that before I had the capacitors, you know, connected. On AC voltage, it would show some voltage, you know, like, I don't know, 12 or 15 or something like that. So clearly it had DC voltage, but with these dips at the top, right, that were, you know, alternating current up there of around 12 to 15 volts. But now, when I turn it on, of course, we got a bunch of good DC, you know, straight up. But when I mash the AC, see what's sitting on there? Basically nothing. Zip point nothing. So you know, point 2 is just some, you know, minor AC that's still floating here, but those caps are doing their job all the way. So there's virtually no alternating current sitting there now. DC, AC. Takes a second for the meter to get it together, you know, and the switch like that. But yeah, virtually nothing. So yeah, that's pretty killer. I'll turn it off. And of course, you'll see the caps draining down still. Those little resistors, like I told you on the top, are pulling all those guys down. And yeah. Oh, got a runny nose, baby. I surely do. Those holes are pretty schminking good. I ground this off, clean it up a little bit, just so it had a nice surface to transfer some of that heat. Let's take a wad of the silicone and give it something to transfer the heat with instead of just like by osmosis. Yeah, it'll transfer a lot of heat there, baby. Bam! It's not as good as conductive, whatever that stuff is for like CPUs and all that, but it'll work. In a prospector tricks world, this baby will work. Okay, now bolt that mother on there just like that. Yes, sir. Okay, folks, I decided not to bolt it to the bottom of the welder. And the reason for that is I wanted an air gap, you know, thinking that if this is sitting up in the air, you know, this much, it should cool a lot better than being mashed straight to the bottom, you know, more like a heat sink, more like it's supposed to be. Also, I got my other modded welder up and running here, and of course I'll weld that little piece. We'll see how this one works too. Hope that works good. This is my real first, you know, weld that's supposed to work with this thing. So, I'll take my head off and see what we got here. Let's see what happens here. I got it set on setting 1, which is a lower setting, but the max. So it's on like setting 2 of the bunch. It's not quite the lowest setting. Let's see what happens. Clearly it's set too low because it's not even hardly biting in. It's welding, but just leaving a big glob of material. So I'm gonna go to the max and see what happens here. Of course, also this is stainless to standard steel. So yeah, it's not welding nearly as good as I thought, but it might be that stainless causing us some grief here. But I think it'll be good enough. Because it doesn't need to be welded that great, to be honest with you. And of course, I'm just want to tack this hog on here somewhat. Like I said, it's not like the front of a bumper on a Mack truck. It's just gotta be on there, baby. Sounding better all the time. Maybe I just had to get warmed up. I don't know. Who knows? I ain't no welder. Prospector trip, baby. But these cables, man. See, that's another thing. This the cables I bought right here. Yeah, expensive. And it's too short still. Making me crazy. Okay, good enough. Yeah, didn't weld very good on that stainless. Didn't seem like, but whatever. You know? One by one. It's trying to rain on me now. Rain on me. Okay. Anyway, she's up in the air now, baby. Like that. My bridge ain't even hot. Barely warm. But yeah, that'll work terrific, huh? Now it's up in the air, get a little bit of airflow underneath it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to tack that down too. I don't know if I'm going to bolt it. I'll just tack it down and bam, we'll be done with it. All right, peace, baby. Hey folks, just wanted to show you, I got that dude up in the air like I said. I ended up welding it here. You can see how flat and clean those welds look compared to when I was welding the stainless. So steel and that stainless welded a lot better on the on that surface, you know, with those two. Even it was dirty and gnarly, nice flat, you know, DC welds. So yeah, my little welder, it was sparking away, but she does pretty good when I'm doing steel to steel. And I'm sure I could change something else and make it do better. Anyway, this guy here, these caps don't really move around at all. But well, I just ended up throwing a piece of Gorilla Tape over it. And because they don't wiggle around or they don't get warm or anything really, that's what I'm going to do. I think they look pretty safe. Slip the cover back on. This is nice and secure. I made the wires safe so they don't touch anything. And again, I used you know, pieces of that jumper cable, as you can see, for all of my you know, workings in here. And yeah, amen, baby. So yeah, this is gonna be, or it is actually, in fact, the DC here, and of course this AC still up there, and I can weld both AC and DC. So amen, baby. I was playing with it a little bit last night, kind of hodgepodge together, and it welds pretty freaking smacking good. I was wailing on this little piece of junk that I just had some stuff up here, and I welded this seam right here. You know, it's a piece of a bed frame. You can see how flat that thing is, right? Really biting in there. And the back side of it, you can see how it just penetrated really well. Really nice. I cranked it up full blast on 230 and nailed this a couple times with various rod, and man, is it biting into that stuff. Look at that, man. That's 3/8 steel, and you can see that it's a gigantic penetration. I mean, it's, anyway, yeah, this thing will weld now. So yeah, sweet, baby. We got to make it good before we scab up the shaker table. Oh yeah, here we go, gold paint, baby. There we go. That looks pretty juicy. Hopefully it doesn't have any big runs in it. Gotta get the little one too. Everybody knows what it is when I'm dead and gone. There we have it, baby. Woohoo! DC, baby. Oh, this one. DC. All right, peace, baby. Okay, baby, this is the final deal here. You guys gotta be able to see how she welds. So I got my piece of scrap on there again, right? Just clamp it now with this gizmo. Just gonna run a bead on there a little bit. We'll run it at about 180, but anyway, we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Got so much ground line down here now, I can't hardly function with all this cable. That's right. Let me put my specs on so I can actually see what I'm doing here. Let's see what we got here, baby. We'll try and run a decent bead of some kind. That was at 230 actually, and of course it's just biting right into that stuff. And of course once I burned off the piece that had no flux on it, she took off real good. Let me turn it down to something more reasonable. Maybe 180 again. Let's try it again here. That's really deep, right? I ran it back and forth real far because it's just going right down, you know. This is 70-14. This stuff ought to bite pretty good at that high setting. And we got some flux on the end, so anyway, let's try 180 again. Let's try it again, baby. That's a 70-14 rod, and it's at 180. So let's see what we got here. I'll try a piece over here on this stuff. Probably burn right through that though. Now that, you see I had to make a huge, oh man, come on, okay, who's filming this thing? Okay, there we go. Now look at that, that sucker biting in there, nice, right? And of course, if I didn't move it, if I didn't go so far, that thing's like a 1/2 inch wide, right? If I didn't go back and forth so much, dang boy, can't you, what's this camera? Okay, that's it. Anyway, yeah, if I didn't make it a 1/2 inch wide going back and forth really far, it'd just pushed right through it, you know. As it stands, I didn't go through it. Anyway, yeah, running her at 180. Boy, she's hot there. Let's try it again. Let's try something else. This camera, I'm telling you what, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't watch this guy no more. This is impossible. All right, let's try one on this big hog here. Okay. Damn. You know, this is funny. I'm pretty funny some days, I'll tell you what. Okay, that's it. That's it. There it is. So this one right here, look how smooth that dog is, right? Of course, you got to chisel off the flux to see it really good. Look how clean that thing is, right? DC Welding. Now look at this other guy. Now I was running out of rod here. And I better get you in the light here anyway. I don't know if you can see that. It's hotter than the mother now. Anyway, this is where I had a lot of rod, right? I was weaving it back and forth. And look at it, clean weld, man. And the penetration's unbelievable. Obviously, I was running short there. I was just going right through it, you know. Anyway, much better, baby. Yeah, much better. Haha. Anyway, that's it. That's it, baby. I painted it black a little bit too because I had more paint in my can. I figured we might as well give it a little paint job. That's right. All right. Peace, baby. I love you, man.